Anyone has some opinion about that?
The core how to become rock star. Yep.
Yeah, that's super straightforward, right? So give me the clicker, please. All right, just checking if that works fine. Okay, cool. So first of all, kudos to our design team for making that happen. I can't get enough of it, and I will be stewing and glaring at this for ages. But we have to tolerate now. So we put this name for the event to exactly show you guys the blueprint that every rock star has, whether it's a personal brand or a project or whatever. Those people who stand out, they have some differences. They have some unique, as we call it, parts in their DNA. There's something special in their bloodline, right? And so before we jump into the main session, I will tell you one story. In the year of 1848, rumors spread in the eastern part of US that the men in the West, in the California, found gold. After the president announced those rumors were true, 300,000 people moved to California to test their luck and to mine some gold, right? Some of them succeeded, some of them didn't. But those who did, they eventually made a generational wealth. So their kids would always remember the era of the 1949ers, as they call it, right? Those guys who actually were mining the gold. Now, we have the pretty similar
شير على
but
اللينكات
now
على
a
التليجرام
little bit in
فوتوا على
terms of
التليجرام اعملوا شير.
landscape, it has drastically shifted in terms of what the goal is. Most of you guys have heard about Bitcoin, it's the digital gold. Everybody sort of like keeps some portion of Bitcoin, at least in our bags. That makes sense. But a digital gold rush, as I call it right now, this is a blend of the opportunities for everybody. Whether you're a seasonal expert or a Web3 project founder or, particular contributor, advisor, whatever, this thing is made, guys, for you. So you should do your best in order to capitalize on it, in order to capitalize this momentum, because this is, if you think about that, never ever across the human history, it was easier to have an access to the new economy class, to invest in the early stage of the startups. Thanks to crypto, thanks to this massive disruption in the fintech revolution, right? We are here today right now. So we're going to be talking about the Web3 Rockstar DNA today, as you already guessed it. So, like I said to you guys, every rockstar has some particular unique thing. And what do you think it is? The one thing that every rockstar has, I would say the traits. How would you phrase this? Okay, DNA, we understand. Some of them have colorful nails, some of them are, yeah.
The talent, no?
Huh?
Talent.
Talent, that's for sure, talent. What else do they have?
Style.
What?
Fame.
Fame, yes, due to talent. Are you guys in the same team? All right, good. So, yes, this talent, this is a fame, this is a skill, this is a unique network, unique, some sort of a knowledge they have about the particular topics.
Okay, it's unique style, right?
But we call it tattoos, right?
Tattoos.
So that's super important because all the rock stars, they have tattoos. What I mean by saying tattoos, I mean the particular mindset setups that every rock star has, and that's why most of them are on the top right now. That's why only 1% of the rock stars projects of 100 million market cap, Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything, those projects are rock stars, and they have a particular traits, right? Those traits are tattoos. So I would run you through some brutal list of the tattoos that we think that cryptocurrency every rock star has. And the first tattoo is up on the screen right here, is building a dope stuff. What does it mean? It means that the people who are genuinely obsessed with what they are doing, they are against mediocrity. They will try to deliver you the best out of the possible. Whether it's UX, whether it's UI, whether it's whatever they kind of touch, right? Because they try to be as valuable as it can be, so they build the dope stuff that the people would eventually be passionate about this valuable piece of thing that rock stars made out of their efforts. The next one is they usually what they do is that they under-promise but under-deliver, right? Okay. So those rock stars, they tend to deliver more than you would even expect from them. Because if you have the formula of a happiness, it means what? That you expected less, and all of a sudden, some magician guy with the drums came out of nowhere and delivered you more. So that's what makes you excited, that's what makes you happy. So those rock stars, it's the DNA. If you are expert, per se, do the battery business development, right? If you over-deliver things, you would be genuinely in a huge demand. Because that's your approach. That's some unique trait you have, this tattoo, right? The next stuff is being a cult. Because when you think about the brand image, some of the brands, they kind of mass market, right? Whatever, this is McDonald's, you can access to it by paying the pennies. It doesn't represent a particular value for you in terms of being something unique, being something truly untouchable and unimaginable, right? And those rock stars, they're good enough, let's say the project, right, to create the cool. To create the cool, this is the set of the associations, this is a set of the values, this is a set of the particular things that can be associated with them. For example, imagine some project or some KOL, some influencers you're actively following, remove profile picture. But his handwriting, his tone of voice, it's really something that you can recognize among the thousands of the tone of voice, among the thousands of the stupid photos in your feed, right? You just understand, okay, it's made out by him. Being cool. The next thing up on the screen is to give the people what they want, because most of the Web3 projects founders come into the business world, right? What do they think? They operate in the realm of, okay, I think this is valuable, so that's what makes me driving the force, creating the team, to do what? To build the projects, to build the product, to ship the product, whatever, and the circle goes again, and again, and again. But guess what? Something is wrong here. And the founders understand what's wrong here, right? When you make something just out of your imagination, without the real feedback from the people, without your community, Mike was talking about this, about the community power, right? When you build not for somebody, because Web3 has drastically changed the landscape of building, but you build with somebody, and those guys can be your marketing departments to boards, right? So as soon as you're nailing down the strategy and making sure that you understand people enough, you understand what drives them, you understand what sort of their main, I would say, ultimate, some sort of sophistication, right, they're looking for, and as soon as you kind of shaking your blade, your katana, who's laughing? Alright, ladies in the back. I think because I said katana. Alright, the next one is setting up trends. If you think about, once again, the business, and again, those slides, I mean, I can't get enough of it, right? Do you like it or no? Give me some reaction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we
like it.
a bit thanks, Leila, with those for design team. That was made by Polly and Dee and the other girls in our design department. So, because we believe that the visuals are matter, right? We believe that the visuals create the perceived value. Without the perceived value, you cannot perform because who you are. I mean, what is this dude? This came from the nowhere, right? That's why we such a deeply, trying to put our mind in the hands to create a visual. So here, setting up the trends. When I think about that, there are thousands of red seas, right? Red oceans with the business. commercials, I mean some particular e-com, and then services, everything. But when you're just trying to analyze who are profitable from this bull list, you coming up to the conclusion that this is like 5 or 3 or 2% of companies that have taken the place and really replaced this plankton. Those guys are whales, right? We love this word in crypto, I know everybody. Everybody wants to be a whale. Everybody wants to turn himself or herself, God bless you, from just a fish to the shark, from the shark to what? To whale. So, and setting up trends is the ability to find those blue oceans, is the ability to create in your businesses that are pretty, I would say, messed over the years, that can be screwed up over the years, that something is wrong there. So you understand this, and you will do what? You would create this blue ocean by setting up new trends. Next up on the screen is that authenticity is a banger. If you would analyze carefully Web3 environment right now, Web3 landscape right now, I think Web3 is sort of the stuff that unifies everybody who sits here, right? You came for new ideas, new perspectives about the crypto world. Some of you guys came for pizza, kudos to you also, but yeah, it's fine. So authenticity is the bank. What I mean by saying that? I mean by saying that is to be able to express yourself, to phrase your ideas, to communicate them, and deliver in the authentic way, in the way of how you can be perceived, you can be heard in a unique direction, because it really stands out. It's not something that all the market used to. This is not the, I mean, if you think about the landscape, once again, just coming to this idea of Web3. We have open source technology here, so everybody will do what? Everybody will repeat after everybody what was repeated by somebody, right? So this is, circle goes again and again and again. So authenticity, what lacks here. And those founders who found the way, who found the key to that door of putting some cultural image around what they are building, they can win the game. Those guys can be winning horses. And you guys all, I mean, I think all of you guys kind of placing cryptos, altcoins in your bags. And what you do here in this particular case, you make a bet. You just make a bet. This big thing would come to the moon. How do you know that? How do you know that this thing will go to the moon, sir? What do you have in your bag? One token, out of your mind. Fast. You don't have something? Bitcoin Ethereum. Something more sophisticated? Yeah, altcoins. Give me the random one. Solana. Alright. So why do you think Solana would come to the moon? Or you don't think so? That would be pretty cool. Community is very active. What gets you into thinking like this? What gets you into thinking like this? You see the fact, right? You see the real fact, right? Go.
What I see actually most of the people who is trying to invest, they don't have kind of like understanding what actually these are about, but they are more into listening from communities where it can lead. Like, so they are more trusting in community than what's kind of the project where it can lead.
You mean they are more responsive, right?
Yeah.
They kind of more up to having the feedback and based off of this optimize the pathway forward.
So they don't take it as a person, but they get the feedback from the community. So
All right.
this is for people. So
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So they get the feedback from the community, say friends or say community. They think this project can be the next really.
100%.
Yeah.
And in this case, what you would do, you would make a bet that this project would go to the moon. Why Solana would go to the moon, you may ask yourself. Because you believe that Solana would go to the moon. I mean, what actually consists, what involves in your believing system is the facts. It's your ability to understand, okay, community is there, tech is there, founder is there, blueprint massive is there. So why are not they going to ramp up the space forward, right? That's the logical question. So you would take a bet that those founders who can deliver their mission, and this mission can be beyond the human life. And some of the guys, let me tell you the story. One investor, a good friend of mine, I was speaking with him about the investments in the Web3, in the private equity, and everything in this shape and form. And he said to me, you know what? My most lucrative deals were happened where I put my thoughts about the tech, about this kind of garbage, about the plans, about ideas, about the size of the market, about all this team and the different hats they are wearing to the trash. What I would consider here, I would give myself 5 minutes to listen. Do I believe that this founder would deliver? Do I believe that this founder and his team are able to shape the vision in a way of how it can be perceived as a next bank, as a next rock star? So as opposed to analyzing charts, I'm not against the tech analysis, everything those guys patterns, you really follow up with that. But what I mean by saying this is most of the best deals are ever made by being careful to your feelings and understanding, okay, do I believe that those people are gonna deliver? And those who are gonna deliver would do what? Would do how? Authentically, right?
Would do what?
Would do authentically. The next one is a diamond. Ace are locked. So what we have here is tattoo number 7, by the way. You're still making the photos. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the beautiful visuals right here. So what does it mean exactly? Where attention goes, money flows. So energy became the ultimate currency. Not Ethereum, not a Bitcoin. Those guys still has up to them. I mean projects, right? But the attention became the ultimate gateway to everything that happens. Oh, sorry, I'm spoiling it now. So the attention becomes the ultimate key and the power that you can maintain, because this attention down the road can be converted in something tangible. The fan base, the sign-ups, whatever guys are looking for, if you're an expert, if you're freelancers, to the new applications, whitelists, I mean, whatever you can think of, because in the end of the day, the idea is to gather enough attention by being who? By being a really shining diamond, and then do as you please. Do and build with them. Make them turn into your idea. That's actually what's super important here. So be in motion. If you think about the brands who are drastically involved, who are drastically like changing, who are drastically trying to be the best version of themselves, they are always in motion. Why so? Because when you remain static, you cannot learn fast. But the idea of the whole life is to learn fast, isn't it? Those guys who are progressive enough, they understand the more mistakes they would do, the more they would have what? Lessons about the life, how it works, and how it doesn't. So being in motion, if you like, take an example and come to the real scenario with the Web3 brands, they would do, I mean, literally everything that drives them forward and forward and forward to the success. That means creating an in real life event, as we have right now. That means to be surrounded by a good team. That means to keep Solana in your wallet. That means to do quite a lot of things to be able to always remain dynamic. So that's the ultimate formula. The next one, that's my favorite slide. I'll take a pause, two seconds. Wow. So headhunt that freaking dragon. I know all of those headlines, they're kind of tricky enough to understand right off the bat what they actually mean, right? But this is why I'm here today on the stage, well, in the room, to talk about that. So, and to headhunt that freaking dragon, it means that you have an ambition goal. And this goal is to either become the speediest, the most frictionless, also permissionless technology on the planet Earth, or to open the Mars for people, or to do something really tangible, because the hero path goes and says, now I mean, at a particular moment, you experience the distant voice. This distant voice says you something. Do this, do this, do that. Right? And you refuse because you're too scared. Some time goes by. Then you experience the same distant voice saying you do this, because that's your ultimate vision. And then, by being in the position, in the shoes of the person who cannot reject it, you would go to the cave, you would cross this threshold, you would see the sparkling eyes of the dragon in the cave. You would understand, right, this is your myth. This is why you are here, this is why you were born, to headhunt the cricket dragon, which is the symbol of a mission, of some particular flow of knowledge that you should extrapolate by doing what? By chopping off the head of a dragon. Put this to your back, that's a lot. And then come to the real world and say, you know what I just did? I got the head of a dragon, which is the ultimate elixir, which is the ultimate knowledge and the equation about how life works. This is something that only a hero can go and do and bring us to the normies. That's what we do, all guys here. We are heroes and we are bringing the knowledge to the normies to eventually get those normies psyoped into Web3, into new idea, into new landscape. This is you guys who are early movers, who are early birds, who are ballers, who are fearless. Do this. Because you're always what? You're always in motion and you have a guitar in your head. That's the life hack. That's the shortcut to life. And then hated or excited but never impartial. One super important data set. And if you take a look at the rock stars, they just gather enough attention. They just do this in two ways, either negative or positive, because this is like a sort of a pendulum of the emotions and you're swinging it from one side to another, from one side to another, but you cannot remain being like, impartial, because when you're trying to think how can I attract this attention, which is like most of the rock stars do pretty well. Oh, and I did this again, sorry. So you would gather either an army of haters who do what? Who do the free marketing for you? Thanks for those guys. And then, or either you would create the genuine fans and the followers who are in your boat, who are helping you propel the narrative, who are kind of understand, okay, this is the either refuse the fight or what? Or accept the fight. So those who have accepted the fight, they are in the boat till the last drop of blood. And that's what matters, right? Because it doesn't matter right now the amount of followers, the amount of likes, comments, all this garbage. What matters is how many people would come and join you when you put the piece of content to the internet and say, I'll do the training masterclass for you tomorrow, guys, in the heart of Dubai, nearby Burj Khalifa in some restaurant, right? If they would go and join you tomorrow at 1 p.m., this is what matters. This is what matters. Not the time.
I just want to ask then, how can you make that happen?
Oh, that's the marketing, my little friend. That's the whole marketing wisdom, what it stands by, because most of the people, they're kind of getting this wrong. They're thinking that marketing is all about advertising. That's bullshit. Advertising is about advertising, but marketing is about creating the image. It's about being a code. It's about being a brand. It's about being associated with some cultural shift, as we do here in the factory. It's about creating demand. It's about driving all those forces by being genuinely supported by the guys who are in your goal. But we can talk about this for an hour. And then has a plan for the song that is never made. Oh, I love this drama. I will try this thing. I love the drama. So the song that is never made. What does it mean? It means that the mission is beyond the life. It means that the mission is untouchable right now. Because what's the point to have a mission? What's the point to have a goal if you can actually wake up tomorrow and do this? this is like a desire, this is, I don't know, this is like a micro incentive for you, but the real mission, the real shaping pathway for the hero lies beyond the earth conditions. Right? So they would have a soul that is never made, but they were permanently trying to do this again and again and again, and failing again and again and again, and learning again and again and again. That's only one shortcut. The next, who loves six packs? You can do the photo if you want. That's not me. Picture perfect smoking. When you think about the style and the branding and the images, you understand implicitly that something like differentiates this rock star from this normie. What is that about? It's about having a unique style, having a unique appearance. I'm not even saying about the visuals right now, I mean fully, right? It can be implicitly driven, like it habitually, like how do you express yourself? How do you, which pose do you take while speaking? When it comes to the Web3 and sort of the business perspective, right? It also comes down to the idea of being the ultimate dancer on the stage that expresses himself in a way of how he thinks about it. So that's really important. So having a unique style and the picture perfect smoking. Who smokes here? You understand what I mean? So it's all about that, right? And then, 3 palms. What does it mean? Super perfect. Popping up in thousands of hearts. So I think that the one style that you already understand that actually puts together all the rock stars, they're popping up. They resonate. Resonate. Sorry. Wow, catch you off guard, right? So, what does it mean to resonate? When do you understand that you resonate people? When they like you, when they take a look at you without putting the eyes on the different sides, when you understand that some emotional sentiment just happened, some magic and rapport is just built. So when it comes to popping up in the thousands of phrases, there are 2 shortcuts to this. First one is relevancy. When you're relevant because you know for whom are you driving this product, delivering this stuff, right? And the second part of the equation is you have to be insightful. Relevancy and novelty, that's the key to be a rock star. And the novelty means that you bring insights, you bring something new up on the table. You do something in a way of somebody else would have never done it, right? That's what it's about. Burn to the ashes. That's the number 14 tattoo. We have 3 more. So what does it mean exactly, burn to the ashes? Is that you do no matter what. I love the thesis is that your every action is the last battle in the war. And I kind of see right now the heroes and the rock stars who carefully listen, and those guys who are tapping something in their phones. Maybe they are checking the BTC price at the moment. Maybe they do something different, but this is genuinely important, right? So having the mindset of a true warrior, what does it mean? Well, no matter what, I will still show up and I will still do this. I will still try to perform no matter what. And that's when you take a look at the Web3 landscape. What do you see there? You see that the projects who would do from early 2017 their narrative that back then was kind of the dust in the desert, pretty unnoticed, but they would do this again and again and again because the one shortcut to life that actually I was talking about is never miss a day. How well? Because guess what? Somewhen you can be lucky. Sometimes we are lucky. And to never miss a day and to do this no matter what means that you will catch a lucky day. If you never miss a day, that's as simple as it gets, right? So burn to the ashes without mediocrity, putting everything on the line, because the most rewards you can have out of putting more risk on the line for sure. The next one here is the offer the best drugs for fans. Who loves drugs here? Nobody. Or somebody, but I'll hide this, right? And so those drugs can be perceived as unique pillars. I mean, probably 99.9% of the people came to the Web3 market to do what? To become rich overnight. They came here to have a Lambo in 24 hours. They came here to understand how to long 120 leverage BTC long, and then that would help you to become rich. And so most of the people, early disruptors and the early attenders to this market, they are here because of the monetary incentives. They understand this is the digital gold, right? They want to be a part of. They want to be step-sided. They want to be like somewhere backwards. They want to capitalize the momentum, right? And that's what it's all about, those drugs. So, and the brands, they would do what? Mike was saying about the narratives, about the lead magnets. You told about the airdrop, right? Which is the perfect way to attract the attention if you understand that your product is sticky enough. Because as soon as the airdrop, guess what? Guess what your database will do? It will jump somewhere and jump somewhere. They will disappear because there is no reason for them to stay because your product means nothing, right? Deliver the drugs. Nothing is more important than immortality. And if you think about the next tattoo would be pretty much capturing this thought here and kind of following the chart, the way of the flow. In terms of immortality, that's the important stuff because those brands, they're not here just for money. They're not just here for some of the founders for sure they would allocate 85% of the tokenomics to have a chicks, to have a mansions, to have a Lambos. That's the way of choice, right? But then eventually, when you take a look at the landscape of a crypto, of a Web3, those guys are really passionate by the idea of disrupting things. They want their name to be put in the history books, and they want to be the cultural narrative, right? Which is super important for them. And the money comes after that. Because guess what here? Dollars. Who still believes in dollar? Raise your hand. Who believes in dollar? Who gets paid in dollars? Everybody here sounds sort of disruptor, right? No, BTC, digital currencies, everything, right?
All of you believe in dollar, and the reason is you buy an asset to turn it off $1 again.
So the dollar is a totally different question, but I kind of understand it. So here, dollar is a byproduct of excellence, not a goal. You can measure by your personal life. You can measure by the projects who are popping up right now in the charts, in the tops. They are different because they would first think about having excellence in a way of shipping the technology, in a way of building the community, in a way of delivering the decentralized finance landscape for all your guys to be sort of participated without taking any actions about memorizing, self-custody, doing all this, garbage. You don't care about the Web3 backend. You don't care about how much money did they spend to build this for you. You just care about your use case. That's the simple truth, right? You just care about your use case. And the use case is being a vehicle of how to drive forward. So this use case is something that people are obsessed to build. DeFi, Web3, AI, NFTs, meme coins. Meme coins. Meme coins. Meme coins. So the one stuff important here is to understand that money is a byproduct of the excellence, of the mission, of the genuine execution of that each day, every day, no matter what. That's the mindset. No shortcuts. The question I have here, which tattoo would you make? Do you have a perfect one? Maybe you cut your eye onto something particular, the number or the thesis. Give me the 3 best theses. I have something for you guys. 3 best tattoos.
Authenticity.
Authenticity, okay. Who else? Have you guys forgotten all the tattoos we were talking about?
Salmon, the dragon, yeah.
The dragon, the hero story, yeah? It's so impressive. One more. Huh?
Be a cult.
What?
Be a cult.
Be a cult. Yeah, makes sense. So then I have something really interesting for you because you have spent your time now in a pretty hot Dubai with like more sort of turns into the sauna on the planet Earth, which is not easy to kind of bear. I want to reward you a little bit. We have books, right? The books is the way to learn is the way to live, the live is the way to experience things, right? So we have books about Web3 marketing, about Web3 business, about how those, one more stuff. Those books are executed in the same professional design way as all of this presentation. And I'm genuinely passionate about the work of our design team here. So those books are about Web3, are about working with influencers, about the rockstar mindset, about the Web3 like marketing techniques that Mike was talking about previously. And then it's all about the funnel, it's all about the concept. It's actually everything you need to know about how it works in the Web3 now, because I'm the guy who behind the scenes actually launched this project, because there are two guys, right? There are two categories of people. First category, those guys are consumers. Bring me something on the plate, I'll digest it. The second part are creators, right? Those people, they create things. So we have been creators since early 2020, so we understand what happens beyond the stage, beyond the scenes. And this, what we have imprinted in those books. So your task here is to make your favorite tattoo. Turn on your phone now, make a photo here of this slide, because this is what helps you to understand our incentive program for you guys. The best tattoo that makes a tweet. So your tweet is a tag.